Hey, it's your girl Preetipls with a brand new Preetipls Reacts episode. It's been a while since I've done one of these, and this time I'm actually going to react to something that y'all have been tagging me in the last 24 hours, so you're welcome. Okay, and as you can tell, this is also a very impromptu, anyhow, spontaneous episode because it is 12:13 a.m. and I just decided to switch on my camera and do this. As you can tell, my bed has not been made, but you know why? I have no time. Racism is everywhere. So the video that I'm going to react to is actually a SHOPBACK ad that was running on TikTok. So that's where it kind of blew up and went viral, and that's where y'all were tagging me on. So in case you haven't seen it, I think it's more exciting to watch it without context. So let's watch it together right now. Okay, so while I look for this video, let me just give y'all some quick unsolicited life advice. So every time you are on social media and you see anything questionable, you get tagged in something, you're just on your explore page, you see some really botched content, what's the first thing you do? First thing you do? Screenshot. Screen record. Save. Because people really like to post a lot of questionable, problematic things just for the lols, and nobody's laughing. It's they themselves laugh on. It's the kind of thing you look at and you're like, should have stayed in drafts, huh? Let's watch this right now.
SHOPBACK pays me to shop. SHOPBACK pays me to shop. SHOPBACK pays me to shop. SHOPBACK pays me to shop.
I'm confused, okay? Because when I see an ad like this, in my head I'm like, oh bitch, it's October, it's November, Deepavali's coming, and this is that one time you're gonna act like you celebrate my culture. That's what I think. But then, like any normal person with a calendar in her room, I look at it and I'm like, bitch, it's only April, so why is this even Indian inspired? Why are you wearing a full-on Indian traditional outfit? As a human being who cannot dance to save her life, I'm looking at it and I'm like, I definitely don't think the dance moves are Indian inspired. They don't look like any traditional Indian dance moves. So I'm just very confused. And also, SHOPBACK doesn't pay you to shop. SHOPBACK just saves your money when you shop. SHOPBACK pays you to shop. Fake news! So if you count paying me to shop as essentially giving me a couple of dollars off my order, I don't think that's paying anybody, because I would need to do the paying of money first to get that payment from SHOPBACK. Okay, to me that is just botched phrasing, and that's how you get people to spend money, because you're like, oh my god, actually if I spend this, I'm earning money. No, clown, you never earn more than what like you are spending. Is this making sense? This is so confusing. But like, what I'm trying to say is that if your bill and your card when you check out, if it's going to be $300, you're not going to get back like $301 from SHOPBACK. No, you're not even gonna get anything significant enough that makes it feel like you spend $0. So you are not earning anything. Nobody is paying you to shop, okay? Unless you just have an allowance, bitch. Then after you just getting paid by your parents to shop, okay? Now that that's clear, I'm just very confused, because obviously in the comment section, everybody is like, classic. A lot of people are very unhappy about this ad, and then there are a lot of people who are just like, why y'all so snowflake? Oh, why y'all so upset about every small thing? Also, y'all very easy offended. Like, that kind of bullshit is also happening in the comments. To see people who are not Indian commenting and are like, why y'all so offended? Okay bitch, let me tell you why we all so offended, okay? When we talk about race in Singapore, people constantly miss the point. So the issue with the brown face ad, there were several issues to it. But a very huge personal issue I had with it as an Indian person was that, why is a non-Indian person making money off like caricatures of all the races, the main 4 races of Singapore, when he only belongs to one of them? And technically, hiring a Chinese man to play a Chinese man, a Malay woman, an Indian man, and I guess a Eurasian character, I can't remember if it was a man or woman, hiring one person to do all those things is taking away opportunities from people of the minority race. Okay, so an actual Indian man could have gotten that job to be actual K. Muthusamy in that Nets ePay brown face ad. He could have actually gotten a guy with an actual brown face. Yeah, foreign concept. Could have easily hired a machik wearing a tudung to play the Muslim woman character in the ad. And yeah, these are opportunities that are literally getting taken away from people who belong in the minority races of Singapore. And that is, to me, a point that's so overlooked. So if you want to put it to context of this SHOPBACK TikTok ad, I don't know the ethnicity of the guy that's the lead dancer in this video, but a lot of people in the comments were saying this guy's not even Indian. So that's what really makes it frustrating, because if the guy truly was not Indian at all, it sucks. Because if you were gonna put someone to sing and dance in an Indian style or Indian inspired way. Why is the guy not Indian? Like, isn't this an opportunity that's taken away from a person that should be that whose race you are like embracing here? And at first glance, when you look at the video and look at all the backup dancers, you don't see people who are Indian. I don't know, maybe some people just don't look Indian but they are Indian. I mean, Dennis Chu also could be 1/4 Chinese, 1/4 Indian, 1/4 Malay, you know? So yeah, I don't look at this advertisement and feel like my race is represented. It just looks like you took all the nice parts of my race and used it for commercial purposes lor. Like, it really isn't that hard to actually hire a bunch of brown people, especially if this ad is going to be so insanely Indian influenced with the music, the costumes and all of that. Like, I don't know why, but if it's gonna be like that, then shouldn't you have a person of their ethnicity fronting it? Or shouldn't you have at least enough visible Indian people in this commercial for a fellow Indian person to look at it and be like, wow, you're embracing my race well, you're doing this right, like you're giving people of my race an opportunity. But then again, I still, in my head, I'm like, but why is that even Indian influenced? I don't get that. A lot of brands like to do this thing where they just pick and choose the nice parts or the most palatable parts of my race for commercial purposes. I interrupt my own rant to say that my dog is now in my room being cute. Excuse me, stop biting yourself. No food ah. SHOPBACK had a reason in their comments by saying like, oh, go watch our full video on Facebook. The full video actually features Kumar. I'm like, yeah, okay, but that still doesn't make it okay, what? And if he's in the ad, then why are you not putting him in the part that you're running as ads on TikTok for so many people to see? Like, he's not even in that bit. And first glance at this is so insanely Indian inspired, and like, you don't even see that one Indian guy that you're featuring in your campaign. If you're gonna run an ad somewhere, you need to imagine yourself as a consumer and how it's gonna look, what? Isn't that like advertising 101? Isn't your advertisement for the consumer? And we all know the average Singaporean is not brown. The average Singaporean is probably like 30-ish Chinese male. So it's just, I guess the average Singaporean looking at this ad might be okay with it. And honestly, for a country that flexes how racially harmonious we are all the damn time, it makes no sense that this doesn't follow through and it's not cohesive at all in our everyday lives when you look at all the marketing efforts, all the ads that are targeted at you. As a brown person, do you feel represented? Of course not. And that's frustrating. So many of us grew up just feeling like, oh my god, where the fuck were we in all these things? Like, where is the me equivalent on this TV show? Where's the me equivalent in this ad, in this campaign? And it's insane because like, how many more times do we need to say the same shit? And in multicultural Singapore, it still makes no sense why people pick and choose all their favorite parts of like the minority races in Singapore and they act like all the other parts don't exist. And they pick all these parts for commercial purposes, for like very selfish reasons, for profit. And it's like, I don't get it. Like, John Legend said, you must take all of me, what? Then why you only take some parts? It really comes from an insane place of privilege to be able to pick and choose what you like about minority races and put those things on a pedestal and try and embrace them, but always do it so wrong and always do it without any proper sensitivity, or like, it always feels like there are no brown people hired in these companies. And then it brings me back to all these ridiculous like double standards. You know, when you look at housing in Singapore, you look at the amount of brown people who are rejected from getting rental places, rejected from so many, from literally the most basic thing, like a home. People don't get these things just because of their race. This shit happens all the time. Literally, people just blatantly say, no Indians. Done. Conversation's over. That's a non-negotiable at my race. Somebody doesn't get a damn home because of your dumb racial preference. And that's where we're at. And of course, things like job opportunities. The amount of people who don't get an equal footing or equal opportunity even though they're equally qualified just because they don't know a certain language, even if the job does not actually require this, but it's just a preference. It's so easy to just brush it off as a preference, but there is so much like preconceived like notions and stereotypes in your head, and like you were clearly brought up wrong to have like random preferences like this, and somehow you think it's okay today. So if you're still watching this video right now, then honestly, wow, you like me, then say lah. Okay, no, but to all my fellow brown people watching this, I hope this video was useful for our potential allies and people who are not of our race, who can possibly try to understand the situation better and the sensitivities, the racial sensitivities better. But I mean, I don't know, like at the end of the day, I think a lot of it boils down to intention also. I don't think anyone like does like commercial stuff or like ads, they don't run it with the intention of like yeah, let's offend, you know. So I'm pretty sure all the intention was just let's sell our shit. I just want to say to anyone watching this who works with brands, like not Chicken Essence, just like brands, like different brands. If you think of a way to sell the shit that you need to sell, and if it involves race, think again lah. Save it in drafts, you know. Then you sit there a while more, then you're like, actually I thought of something else that makes more sense and doesn't offend anybody. And if you think it's not offensive and it talks about race, then maybe you want to ask people of their ethnicity. Maybe you want to have enough brown people around you to consult someone. Please also understand how exhausting that is. But I feel like if you generally have a diverse enough team, these things will be avoided. But at the end of the day, I just want you to remember one thing. SHOPBACK doesn't pay you to shop. It just saves you money when you are already wasting your money shopping. Okay? Ugh.